Welcome back. It got national headlines day after day. The Stanford rape case. You remember the details. Former member of the Stanford swim team, Brock Turner, convicted of sexually assaulting an unconscious woman outside a fraternity party in 2015. But the judge in the case sentenced him not to prison, but to 6 months in jail, 3-year probation. It was the light sentence that was at the heart of the outrage. But our next guest, Stacey Honowitz, says there's another, maybe more important message out of this thing. Stacey is supervising the Sex Crimes and Child Abuse Unit of the State Attorney's Office. Good to see you again, Stacey.
Hi,
it's great to be here.
Thanks
for having me.
Such an important topic.
It's really important. And you know, when that sentence came down, nobody stopped talking because nobody could believe that this kid got 6 months. And it was really when you heard the words of the rape victim herself that everybody kind of took note and said, how could somebody have gotten a 6-month sentence?
And I want to ask you a question. There's a phrase, rape culture on college campuses.
Yes, absolutely.
People take to the phrase because it's descriptive. Other people say, no, nothing has really changed. We have just come up with a phrase. What is your reaction to that?
There is a phrase now, but it has been going on for a long time. But women in general on campuses are afraid to report because we have seen in prior incidents that nothing really ever happens. We've heard about athletes that have been looked at, never charged, and we've heard that the girl is really the one that's put in the position of being ostracized. How could you bring these charges?
And getting victimized twice.
Victimized twice.
So the statistics is what, 20% of women in college get sexually assaulted. I personally think that number is greater, but like you were saying, you know, in shame, they don't come forward.
Absolutely.
Well, let me stop for a moment. We have to define terms here.
Okay.
When you say sexually assaulted, that doesn't necessarily mean rape. We're not saying more than 20% of women on campus are raped. What
no,
are
when
we
you
saying?
say sexually assaulted, Steve,
Yes.
you're talking rape. It is one and the same.
So
Sexual assault and rape, we interchange the words.
So when you say more than 1 out of 5 young women on campus are getting raped, that sounds very high to me.
It is high, but it's the truth. I mean, listen,
Yeah.
I don't have the statistics in front of me. I don't go around to all the colleges.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of things go unreported. Even when you're not on campus in a rape case, things go unreported because, like you said, you're victimized twice. So when we heard about this, and as a sex crimes prosecutor for 28 years, I decided maybe it's time to bring awareness to this. And so that's why I created these bracelets that you're both
tell
wearing.
us about them. We're wearing them. What is
it? It says, even if passed out or spent.
Well, it's remember, I do not consent, even if passed out or spent.
Got it.
And the reason why I did this, it's not going to stop a rape. It's not Wonder Woman that's holding up her bracelet and saying, back off. It's not going to happen. We know that. But it's raising awareness for women on campus and for the guys on campus that if they see a number of blue bracelets with these words, that maybe there'll be pause to think, hey, there could be consequences for my actions. And so these are going to glow in the dark.
Oh.
It's never going to stop someone. We know that.
But it's awareness.
It's awareness. And we want women on campus to know that if, God forbid, they are assaulted, if they know that something has happened, not to be afraid to come forward.
We see now, you think of the elite campuses as having better behavior. Obviously, the studies we've come up with show that's not the case.
That's not the case.
Some of the best universities have maybe the worst way of administering to this stuff. So what do you do with them? What do you tell them?
Everything's education. I don't think that people know the real consequences of their actions. And when you have a judge that gives someone a slap on the wrist for 6 months, it's almost like a free-for-all. You have to know what the consequences of your actions are. There were 3 kids, baseball scholars, I think it was at Vanderbilt, 15 years. They were dragging an unconscious woman. Somebody got it on their cell phone. They each raped this woman. 15 years in prison. Was that promoted enough so that people could see? And that's what I'm trying to do. I would go to the campuses. I would speak to the athletic department. It's not just the athletes, it's anybody, to let them know that if this happens and if you're caught and if we can prosecute, you will be charged and you will be convicted and you're not going to get a 6-month sentence. This really, I think, put in the eyes of most people that we can do it and we can get away with it.
All right, so what do you tell a young woman on campus has some kind of an incident? She wants to report it, but she also knows that the act of reporting starts a treadmill that she may not want to get on. What advice do you give?
It's not pleasant, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that as a rape victim, going through the motions is a pleasant experience, but it's something that has to be done. You have to be able to have closure. If you are a victim of a rape, you're going to live with that for the rest of your life if you don't come forward.
Right.
It won't be a pleasant experience, but you will have support. There's people there to help you. There's victim advocates. There's the prosecutors. There's the police officers. There's this group, and that's what I'm trying to raise awareness of. Be supportive of your fellow
Well, you raise
woman.
a good comparison because I talked to a college girl who was raped, and she was a part of Lady Gaga's performance.
Okay.
And she had all the sexual assault victims on stage there, and she said from the time she reported her incident, it was 2.5 years. You know, and so what's 2.5 years versus the rest of your life? where
That
you-
victim in that case really hit a message for everybody. She told everyone what the true feeling. I deal with rape victims every day. They're too embarrassed to talk about the sexual nature of it. They're embarrassed. What did they do? Why did they drink so much? Did they bring it on themselves? That's another big thing that women experience.
Well, let me just ask you,
go ahead.
you know, I question everything. I
I
question
know.
the
You're like the
statistics.
devil's advocate for
yeah,
everything.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
That's exactly right. But also, at what point is an unconscious woman being raped a question for anybody? You know, how could she have brought it on herself? What is her involvement in this? How can anybody not clearly condemn the
Well,
the
I'm glad
rapist?
you say that, but there are many people that sincerely believe that.
She's unconscious.
It doesn't
She's
matter.
unconscious.
You voluntarily drank yourself into a state, and that's what I want to bring out. If you voluntarily drink and you are passed out, it is not carte blanche for someone to say, well, now I can have sex with you. You're
this.
passed
Yeah.
out. Here it is.
Yeah.
Now that gives me every
And
reason
the
in the world to have
idea,
sex
we
with
say no means no, but culturally no, it's not always meant no. How do you deal with that?
Listen, we hear it all the time. Well, she started something and
She
then
was
she said no.
signaling.
She was
Right.
giving me the signal. Well,
Right.
guess what? No does mean no. I mean,
Right.
there's no other way to
Misread
say
it.
Wait,
If you're not sure,
I have
misread
one
it.
more
Okay, it's no.
exactly.
Okay.
Err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go
I
there.
have people on social media reach out to me asking me, is this a done deal with this Stanford swimmer? Is there anything that
That's
we
a
can
done
do?
deal.
It's not with
But
the
we can
judge.
raise awareness. No, he already got removed from another rape case.
right.
And the prosecutor's saying he's a good judge. I mean, really, in this case, we don't know what happened. But
It does serve your purpose, though.
it does.
A case like that does, because it brings us to the fore, does it not?
Listen, let's be aware. Let's everyone know, even if you're walking around. Listen, it's not a chastity belt. I don't want to say
Right.
that.
You're not a prude.
Right,
Yeah.
but this is awareness, and let's get them all out there. Let's blue bracelet everybody.
All right, all the
basically.
information about the bracelets, Stacey Honowitz's campaign is on our website, foxla.com. Always great to see you,
Great to see
Stacey.
you.
Thank
Thanks
you
so
for
much
coming
for
in.
having me.
Sure.